So Bitcoin futures chart on the daily, this is what we've been talking about. So we were talking about, actually, I think I was talking about it in the private group, but we closed the futures chart down here at 45,730. We pumped up back to the 200 exponential over the weekend. Basically went nowhere. Just retested the breakdown. It's acting as resistance currently. We are below the 8, below the 21. We have the 200 simple rolled over to the downside. And now here we are at the 200 exponential. So literally, if we go any lower, this has a flat slope on it. If we go any lower, we're confirming a bear market on Bitcoin futures chart. For the first time since we confirmed our bull market, way back here at like 8 grand. So that's not good. We're at decision point, inflection point. It's time to decide. The bears have clearly been in control for the last couple months. We put in a new all-time high and there was no follow through. I'm not bearish now, but we're at the point where it's like, okay, if there's any bulls left, now's the time. So, if you want to save crypto, now's the time. Dig deep, guys. I mean, not that any of us can make a difference, but maybe Mikey the failure sailor can do it. I don't know. We'll see. But looks like potentially bear market on the horizon. We're closer to a bear market than we have ever been since we got out of our last bear market. So do we have to go into a bear market? No. Does it look like a definite possibility right now? It does. It really does. I don't like how it looks. The 821 on the weekly has officially confirmed to the downside. I mean, this could push back up here to like over 50,000. And, we have the weekly. We have all week to do it. So it doesn't just have to be over. But we got the hard sell signal. We had clear weekly bearish divergence, all red histograms since our rejection top right here. Our little shooting star action. Doesn't look good. The key areas to watch, 42.5 and weekly close below 31.8 on the futures chart. If we close below this one, we probably go to the next one. If we close below this one, we probably go to 200 exponential and simple. So that's the areas I'm paying attention to. Do we close below, 42.5? Do we close below 31.5 roughly? And, then we're probably headed to like 20,500. If we get back above 50,800, then we start retesting some of these upside targets. Essentially, if we get back above 50,000 or so and consolidate, I think we go right back up to the high. So, but we'll see. I guess I'd look at the monthly since. So we closed at the 8, below the 8 technically. Second right history. There's nothing to see here. There's really nothing to see. We can't. It's not telling us anything useful. And then our Bitcoin spot chart, Bitstamp. Again, the 200 exponential has already rolled over. We're below 200 simple, 821 cross the downside. Hard sell signal. We're above the slope line right now. It is still red, but it looks like basically a retest and rejection. And then typically, we go lower. So if we break down below 46, again, we head down to 40,500. And if we break down from 40,500, we probably head down to 29,770. So there's still time. Bitcoin can still break up from here. It can still push up. But right now, clearly the momentum short term, the last couple of months has been to the downside. And again, we hit the moving averages. We expect a push back up, and it was pathetic. We come back down to them again. So if we don't get above 50,900, we probably go much lower. If we do get above 50,900, we start retesting these previous levels, and it's going to look a lot juicier. So there's still time, but I don't know what the bulls are doing. Maybe they're, getting all amped up, drinking that Mountain Dew, getting ready to bust out. But right now, it looks like the bears are holding them down, taking bites out of them. The bulls look like they're dead right now. Etherium, so didn't quite get up to the top of that channel, but we're still operating inside the channel. Came back down to the bottom of it, almost to the 200 exponential and simple. So we basically hit the target to the downside already. We just underperformed the upside target. Not surprising. It's just going to do what Bitcoin does. It had a pretty solid push up, and then the second Bitcoin started showing weakness, just started getting rejected. So Ethereum's still strong though, still above the 200 exponential and simple on the daily. So one of the stronger cryptos. But again, this is the main thing I'm looking at. We broke down from this channel that we've been in since March of 2020. Very clearly broke down from it. Now, we did peek our head out of the top right here and, got rejected and came back inside of it. So maybe that happens again. But I mean, the next target to the downside, if we really break down from here on the weekly chart, the next target to the downside is basically 1400. So I mean, that's a pretty big haircut. You know, does it happen in one candle? Probably not. But I mean, unless you're on Kraken. ETH Bitcoin chart, still holding outside the range for now in the bearish control zone. Looks like ETH wants to try to rally against Bitcoin, but this just looks like a descending triangle. If we break down from this 0.078 level, we probably break back down into the range and end up closer to the 0.07 level. So, but ETH is stronger than most cryptos right now. Definitely stronger than Bitcoin. Not by much, but a little bit. Total market cap on the weekly, very clear bearish divergence playing out. All red histograms. Slope line has flipped over red. We had a hard signal, sell signal here. We lost 60% of our value. We have a hard signal right here. So, you know, do we lose 60% again from peak to trough? I mean, I don't know. I can't confirm we do for sure. But if we do, we go to 1.2 trillion. So we made it up to 3 trillion. So we'll be down 1.8 trillion from the top. So we're at 2.23 trillion now. So do we lose $1 trillion in market cap? I mean, probably. We're closing below the 8 and 21 on the weekly. So what's crypto look like? $1 trillion less valuable. What does your favorite altcoin look like? What does Bitcoin look like? What does Michael Saylor's portfolio look like if the market cap loses $1 trillion? We'll see. Bitcoin dominance. So again, we're looking at that triple bullish divergence, telling us that Bitcoin is probably basing out off support right here, putting in triple bullish divergence on the weekly. So we have lower lows on price action. We have higher lows on the indicator oscillators, not the stochastics anymore, but on the TJD TD MACD. So we probably retest somewhere up here to the range of like 45.6 if this plays out, and then potentially, you know, start potential breakout retest of 200 exponential and simple. We'll have to see. Alts have been staying pretty strong overall. So Polkadot trying to cross 821 back to the upside. This is our 200 exponential and simple just now basically like populating. So we're technically at or above them. So Polkadot looks okay. It looks a lot like Bitcoin. It's at or above the 200 exponential and simple moving average, hanging on. Hard sell signal, histogram above the slope line. It looks like it wants to pop up right here, but it's going to be tough to get above like 32. If it does, it probably goes to 40. If we break down from here, though, man, I really should pull up a different chart, but we probably just sweep the lows like $24, and then we'll have to go from there. But it's just going to do what Biddy does. Chainlink, bear market, below the 200 exponential and simple, retest, reversion of the mean, rejection. Again, back above the 8 and 21, trying to build up some momentum, but I mean, it's really got to get back above like 20, about like if it gets back above $25, it looks okay. But for now, it's in a bear market. It doesn't look good. But if Bitcoin just starts skyrocketing and reclaims, none of this matters because they're just going to follow it. So it's really on Bitcoin right now. Regardless, some of these look better or worse than others, but it's really just up to what Bitcoin does. Because if Bitcoin starts pumping, these alts probably pump. If Bitcoin starts dumping, these alts are going to dump. Uniswap, again, bear market, below the 200 exponential and simple, negative slope line. Bounced to 886 perfectly. Saw resistance at the 618. Saw resistance at the 0.5. It's back above the 618. So it looks like it wants to come up here and retest the 382. Polkadot looks like it's, or Uniswap looks like it's going to 22.23 if it can. If it breaks down below $17, it probably goes straight back down to $15.60. So is there a trade set up there off the 618? There probably is. I just don't know if it's going to be juicy enough. No, 13% stop loss, 20%. I mean, I guess we could tighten it up off that swing low right here. 6.7% with 20%. So 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. Okay, that could be okay. So if it breaks down below like 1690, we want to get stopped out 7% loss. If it breaks up though, you know, from where we're at right now, it likely busts through the 0.5 and reverts to the mean, touches 200 exponential and simple, and the 618, 20% moves to the upside. It's giving us about a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. So momentum in its favor, flipped the slope line over blue, touched the bullish control zone, came back down. Looks like it wants to bounce the Stokes right here. So this Uniswap play actually looks decent. Trading very technically. So reclaiming this 618, that actually looks good to me. You know, again, assuming Bitcoin doesn't just fall off a cliff. XRP, man, can you imagine? I went all in on XRP. Oh, everybody else got rich. I still live with my parents. Oh, XRP. That sucks, man. That sucks. Bear market. Trash bag coin. Still hasn't put a new all-time high. The only thing worse than XRP is cryptos that don't exist and Dash. And Dash also is terrible. I noticed that people that were hardcore shilling Dash when it was over $400 and still hadn't put in a new all-time high, this market cap, they're not talking about Dash anymore. It's so weird. They were like, oh, I'm buying the dip. I'm doubling down. I'm all in. Dash is the one. It's still going to explode to the upside. I haven't heard the name Dash in some time now. So are you ashamed? Are we just going to pretend like that didn't happen? Oh, you meant DoorDash? Like, huh? What? You know who I'm talking about. ADA, Cardano. I mean, looks like trash here. Tried to flip the slope line over. Tried to get a little move to the upside. If this area holds, I think it does push back up to 200 exponential and simple. Didn't we have a trade set up on Cardano? Oh, I think it was this and then it underperformed. So what, we just take the same trade setup again? I mean, if it breaks down below... Oh, man, this is just such an underperformer. I mean, I wouldn't touch this. It just looks like trash. That sushi coin. It got rejected off 200 exponential and simple. Exactly what I said. I literally said I expect to get rejected here and break down. So we'll see what happens. We're seeing weakness. It left the bullish control zone. The stochastics look like they're about to cross the downside. The 200 exponential and simple are rolling over. It's about to go into its first ever bear market. Still has blue slope line and positive momentum, but it's way, way up here in the danger zone. This is where I would be selling my sushi and taking profits, not buying into it. This could be the last chance to get off the train before it catches fire, runs into a dynamite factory, and blows a piece off the earth. So I'd be careful with that one. Some bad sushi could wreck your world. So BAT, basic attention token, actually looks pretty good. Still above 200 exponential and simple. Still strong, putting in a series of higher lows at resistance right here. Trying to burst to the upside again. I have no idea why everybody all of a sudden there's like momentum and people like BAT. This was like such an underperformer and late performer, but it was so easy to just get into this thing right before it burst because like everybody else got to have their fun except XRP, and then all of a sudden BAT would just explode. So doesn't look particularly bad right now, but it also doesn't look particularly great either. So probably does retest the highs. HTR Hathor to tether on KuCoin as per request. Looks very strong. Well above the 200 exponential on simple. Still an uptrend at that previous high right here. So we have a slightly higher high right here. We're retesting those highs. This sort of looking like an inverted head and shoulders. So if we just take a look at this, and again, in a space where most everything looks bad or really bad, the couple like strong cryptos are more likely to outperform because what happens is people just look and see what's up the most today. Oh, I'll just go buy that because no one cares about like technicals or anything or fundamentals. They're just like, oh, I want to just buy momentum, which is okay. At the end of like bull markets, that works. The measure move breakout is $3. So, I mean, I don't know if you're like already in a position on this one or what you're looking at, but I mean, we're basically pennies away from a blue sky breakout. Well, not pennies, $2.30. I mean, that's a 60% move to the upside though. So, I mean, there has to be a favorable trade setup here. I mean, obviously would have been better to get in a little lower, but hindsight's always 20/20. It's still like 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. 20% stop loss though, 18%. 3-to-1 risk reward ratio, 58% upside, 18.89% stop loss. I'm assuming you're probably already in this, but 1.54, $1.54 is your stop, $1.89 right here is your entry with a target of $3. I would probably front run it by a couple cents. But the truth is, if we just break above this the momentum probably just catapults this thing to the upside, honestly. But I mean, I would just trail my stop because if it starts breaking out to the upside, it probably keeps running because it's probably going to have momentum because almost nothing is like, there's very few things that are this close to their all-time highs. So yeah, it looks strong. I mean, you have like this basic attention token, a couple other like random shit coins. Like, look okay right now. Most things look like trash. Matic's still strong, consolidating at the top of the range. Looks like it's running out of steam here though. I think it does come back down to our target, 786. I'll probably take another entry off like $2.15 and just ride it back up to like 289 again. Eventually it's going to break out of this pattern, but in the meantime, probably just take that same trade again, over and over again. So looking for an entry around like $2.15. And if it breaks down from here, I'll be looking at like that 160 level. But, it probably does find support and then heads back up to $3. Avalanche. Basically just a giant triangle, symmetrical triangle, flag, whatever you want to call it. Looks okay. Reclaim the 8 and 21 for now. So if this level holds, it probably retests 125. If it breaks down below 109, it probably retests 101. If it breaks down from 101, probably goes to 80. If it breaks down from 80, it's going to be in real big trouble. But I don't think that happens. I think it probably heads back up here to like $1.23. But if Bitcoin breaks down, it'll be down here at 100 real quick. But that should act as support. Solana. I mean, this thing is just tightening range right here, and it looks like it's ready to let go. The whole looks like the Solana movement might be over. That's all I'm saying. Looks weak. $154 next target to the downside. Upside is really got to get above 200, and that's gonna be tough. MicroStrategy. So we're seeing that continuation. Basically got the pushback up, failed to get back above resistance. It was support, now it's resistance, getting rejected, going straight down here. I mean, it looks like it's headed to 468. And then after that, I mean, realistically, 468 should hold, but then 411, and then who knows after that. Michael Saylor exit strategy, I don't even know. With his most recent purchases, his average price is 30K. So if Bitcoin goes below 30K, get ready for the biggest exit scam of ever in the crypto space. Get ready for Mount Gox 2. We'll call it Mount Saylor, or Sailor Gox, or Micro Gox, or Sailor. No, I can't think of any other good ones. Sorry. If you think of a good one, post it up in the chat and we can hashtag